Top 10 Craziest Construction Projects in the World. 10. What if I told you humans didn't just build on land, but actually created an entire island from the ocean, shaped like a perfect palm tree? Welcome to Palm Jumeirah, one of the most ambitious and mind-blowing construction projects ever attempted. Rising from the waters off the coast of Dubai, this artificial island is so massive that it can be seen from space, a true symbol of human imagination pushed to its limits. But what makes Palm Jumeirah truly extraordinary is not just its size, it's how it was built. There is no traditional foundation of steel or concrete holding it together. Instead, the entire island was constructed using sand and rock. Engineers dredged more than 100 million cubic meters of sand from the seabed and carefully sprayed it into place using advanced GPS technology, shaping it layer by layer into the form of a palm tree. The design itself is both beautiful and functional. A long central trunk stretches out into the sea, surrounded by 16 perfectly arranged fronds. Encircling everything is a massive crescent-shaped barrier, built to act as a breakwater, protecting the island from powerful waves and harsh ocean conditions. It's not just architecture, it's engineering at a near-impossible scale. Yet, building an island in the middle of the ocean is never simple. The forces of nature constantly threaten to undo everything. Waves, tides, and shifting sands could have erased the project entirely. Engineers had to develop innovative techniques to stabilize the land, prevent erosion, and ensure that the island would stand the test of time. Even after construction, new challenges emerged, such as maintaining proper water circulation between the fronds to avoid stagnation. Today, Palm Jumeirah has transformed from an impossible idea into a global icon. What was once open ocean is now home to luxury villas, high-end apartments, and world-famous resorts, attracting visitors from all over the world. It has redefined Dubai's coastline and turned it into a symbol of wealth, innovation, and bold ambition. But perhaps the most incredible part of Palm Jumeirah is what it represents. It shows that humans are no longer limited by the natural world. We don't just live within it, we reshape it. An island that should never have existed now stands as proof that with enough vision, technology, and determination, even the most impossible ideas can become reality. 9. What if a city had no roads, no cars, and stretched in a perfectly straight line across the desert for 170 kilometers? Welcome to the line, one of the most futuristic and controversial construction projects ever imagined. Located in Saudi Arabia as part of the massive NEOM development, the line is not just a city. It's a complete reinvention of how humans live. Instead of expanding outward like traditional cities, it rises in a straight line, a narrow vertical urban corridor designed to house millions of people. But here's what makes it truly unbelievable. There are no cars, no streets, no traffic. Everything within the city is designed to be reachable within a 5-minute walk. And for longer distances, a high-speed underground transport system is planned to move people from one end to the other in just minutes. The structure itself is unlike anything ever built. 2 massive mirrored skyscrapers run parallel to each other, forming a continuous wall stretching across the desert. These reflective surfaces are designed to blend into the environment. Yet at the same time, they create a futuristic skyline that looks almost unreal. Inside, the city is powered by 100% renewable energy, integrating artificial intelligence into daily life, from transportation to resource management. The goal is simple, yet radical: eliminate pollution, reduce human impact on nature, and create a perfectly optimized living environment. But building something like this comes with enormous challenges. Constructing a linear city across harsh desert terrain means dealing with extreme heat, sandstorms, and massive logistical complexity. Every section must be precisely planned and engineered, because even a small failure could disrupt the entire system. And beyond engineering, the line has sparked global debate. Can such a controlled, highly structured city truly work for millions of people? Or is it an idea too ambitious for reality? Still, whether it succeeds or not, the line represents something bigger than just a construction project. It's a bold question. What if the cities we've always known are completely wrong? And what if the future of humanity isn't built outward, but in a single infinite line forward? 8. What if I told you there's a bridge so tall, it rises higher than the Eiffel Tower, floating above the clouds like something out of a dream. Welcome to Millau Viaduct, the tallest bridge in the world, and one of the most breathtaking engineering achievements ever built. Stretching across the Tarn Valley in southern France, this incredible structure doesn't just connect two sides of a valley. It soars above it. At its highest point, the bridge reaches over 340 meters, making it taller than most skyscrapers, and even surpassing the height of the Eiffel Tower. But what makes the Millau Viaduct truly extraordinary isn't just its height. It's how impossibly elegant it looks. Supported by 7 slender pillars, the bridge appears almost weightless, as if it's barely touching the ground. On certain mornings, when clouds fill the valley below, the entire structure seems to float in the sky. Building something like this was a massive challenge. Engineers had to design a structure strong enough to withstand powerful winds sweeping through the valley, while also maintaining a delicate, minimalistic appearance. Every detail had to be precise, because at such extreme heights, even small miscalculations could have catastrophic consequences. Instead of building it piece by piece from below, large sections of the roadway were constructed at each end of the valley and slowly pushed outward, meeting perfectly in the middle, a process that required incredible accuracy and coordination. Today, the Millau Viaduct is more than just a bridge. It's a symbol of what happens when engineering meets art. A structure that doesn't just solve a problem, but transforms the landscape itself. And as cars glide silently across it, high above the clouds, one thing becomes clear. Sometimes, the craziest ideas aren't the loudest or the biggest. They're the ones that make the impossible feel effortless. 7. What if I told you one of the largest engineering projects in the world isn't a skyscraper, a bridge, or a city, but a river that humans built themselves? Welcome to the Great Man-Made River, a project so massive, it has been called the 8th wonder of the world. Hidden beneath the vast deserts of Libya lies an ancient secret. Enormous underground reserves of fresh water, trapped for thousands of years. Instead of letting it remain buried, engineers set out to do something unbelievable. Bring this water across the desert, and turn dry land into life. The result: a network of pipelines stretching for thousands of kilometers, transporting water from deep underground aquifers to cities, farms, and coastal regions where water was once almost impossible to find. But this isn't just any pipeline system. Gigantic concrete pipes, some of them several meters in diameter, were manufactured and laid across the desert in one of the most ambitious infrastructure efforts ever attempted. Entire factories were built just to produce these pipes, and thousands of workers operated in extreme heat, facing harsh conditions every single day. The scale is almost hard to imagine. We're not talking about a simple irrigation system. This is a man-made river, flowing beneath the sand. Yet, the challenges were enormous. Drilling deep into the earth to access ancient water reserves required precision and advanced technology. Maintaining the system across such vast distances, under intense desert conditions, pushed engineering to its limits. And there's a deeper question behind it all. This water is not renewable in the traditional sense. It has been stored underground for thousands of years, meaning once it's used, it may never fully return. So while the great man-made river has transformed lives, turning barren land into fertile ground, it also raises a powerful question. Are we solving a problem, or borrowing from the future? Still, one thing is undeniable. In the middle of one of the harshest environments on Earth, humans didn't just survive. They created a river where no river should ever exist. 6. What if I told you humans didn't just build a skyscraper, but created a structure so tall it literally touches the sky? Welcome to Burj Khalifa, the tallest building ever constructed on Earth, and a true symbol of human ambition pushed beyond its limits. Rising to a staggering height of 828 meters, the Burj Khalifa doesn't just dominate the skyline of Dubai, it redefines what's possible in modern engineering. For comparison, it's more than twice the height of the Empire State Building, and so tall that you can watch the sunset twice, once from the ground and again from the top. But building something this extreme was never just about going higher. As structures rise, the challenges multiply. Powerful winds at high altitudes can cause buildings to sway dangerously. Temperatures shift dramatically from bottom to top. Even pumping concrete to such heights becomes a serious engineering problem. To solve this, engineers developed an innovative buttressed core design, a structural system that allows the building to support itself while resisting the intense forces acting upon it. Its unique Y-shaped design helps distribute weight evenly and reduces the impact of wind, giving it both strength and stability. Even the construction process was groundbreaking. Concrete had to be pumped hundreds of meters into the air, a world record at the time. Workers operated under extreme desert heat, often pouring concrete at night to avoid temperatures that could compromise the material. And then there's the precision. At this scale, even the smallest miscalculation could have been catastrophic. Every measurement, every angle, every structural element had to be nearly perfect. Today, the Burj Khalifa is more than just a building. It's home to luxury residences, offices, and observation decks that offer views stretching for miles across the desert. It has become a global icon, not just of Dubai, but of what humanity can achieve when limits are pushed to the edge. But perhaps the most powerful thing about the Burj Khalifa isn't its height. It's what it represents. A desire to go higher, to build bigger, to reach further than ever before. Because sometimes, the craziest projects aren't about what we need. They're about how far we're willing to go. 5. What if I told you two countries, separated by the sea, decided not to build a bridge, but to dig a tunnel beneath the ocean itself? Welcome to Channel Tunnel, one of the most daring and ambitious engineering projects ever completed. Stretching over 50 kilometers, with nearly 40 kilometers running beneath the seabed, this underground passage connects the United Kingdom and France, transforming what was once a barrier into a seamless link between nations. But building a tunnel under the ocean is far from simple. Engineers had to dig through layers of rock and sediment, deep below the English Channel, while constantly facing the risk of water pressure, leaks, and structural instability. One mistake, and the sea could come rushing in. To make this possible, massive tunnel boring machines were deployed from both sides, the UK and France, drilling toward each other with incredible precision. After years of excavation, the two sides finally met deep underground, perfectly aligned, a moment that proved just how far engineering had come. The tunnel itself is made up of 3 separate passages, 2 for high-speed trains, and 1 central service tunnel used for maintenance and safety. And the result? A journey that once required a ferry across unpredictable waters can now be completed in just about 35 minutes by train, safely, efficiently, and entirely beneath the sea. But beyond its technical achievement, the Channel Tunnel represents something deeper. It's not just about connecting 2 places. It's about connecting people, economies, and cultures. It turned a natural divide into a shared pathway. And in doing so, it proved that even the ocean, one of the greatest barriers on Earth, can be crossed without ever being seen. Because sometimes the boldest way forward isn't over or around the obstacle. It's straight through it. 4. What if I told you one of humanity's greatest construction projects wasn't built on Earth at all? Welcome to International Space Station, a structure so extraordinary it was assembled piece by piece, while orbiting the planet at over 28,000 kilometers per hour. Floating about 400 kilometers above Earth, the International Space Station, or ISS, is the largest man-made object ever placed in space. But unlike any building on Earth, it wasn't constructed in one place. Instead, its components were launched separately on rockets over many years, then carefully assembled in orbit by astronauts and robotic systems. Imagine building something the size of a football field, while traveling faster than a bullet, in the vacuum of space. Every single step was a challenge. There's no gravity to hold things in place, no room for error, and no easy way to fix mistakes. Astronauts had to perform complex spacewalks, connecting modules, installing solar panels, and wiring critical systems, all while floating hundreds of kilometers above the Earth, with nothing but a thin suit protecting them from the harsh environment of space. The station itself is a masterpiece of international cooperation. Built and maintained by multiple countries, including the United States, Russia, Japan, Canada, and members of the European Space Agency, the ISS represents what humanity can achieve when working together beyond borders. Today, it serves as a laboratory in space, a place where scientists conduct experiments that are impossible on Earth, from studying microgravity to testing technologies for future missions to the Moon and Mars. But beyond science and engineering, the ISS represents something even bigger. It shows that construction is no longer limited to land, sea, or even air. We have reached a point where humans can build in space. And as the station silently orbits above us, visible as a bright light crossing the night sky, it sends a powerful message. The next frontier of construction is no longer on this planet. It's beyond it. 3. What if I told you an entire futuristic city is being built, not on land, but on the surface of the ocean? Welcome to Forest City, one of the most controversial and ambitious construction projects in the world. Located just off the southern coast of Malaysia, near Singapore, Forest City is a massive development built on artificial islands reclaimed from the sea. The vision behind it is bold, a fully integrated smart city designed to house hundreds of thousands of people, blending modern urban living with nature. But this isn't just another coastal development. Forest City was designed as a green city of the future, a place where buildings are covered in vegetation, streets are designed for pedestrians, and technology manages everything from traffic to energy consumption. The goal is to create a sustainable environment where nature and city life exist side by side. From above, the project looks almost surreal. Clusters of high-rise buildings rise from man-made land, surrounded by water, forming a city that seems to float on the ocean. It's clean, modern, and almost futuristic, like something straight out of a science fiction movie. But behind this vision lies a complex reality. Building land in the ocean is already a massive engineering challenge. It requires dredging, land reclamation, and constant reinforcement to prevent erosion and sinking. And when you scale that up to an entire city, the difficulty increases exponentially. Then there are environmental concerns. Large-scale land reclamation can disrupt marine ecosystems, affecting water flow, wildlife habitats, and coastal stability. Forest City has faced criticism and debate over its long-term impact on the environment and the surrounding region. And beyond the engineering and environmental questions, there's another issue. Who is this city really for? Despite its grand vision, parts of Forest City have struggled with low occupancy, leading some to question whether the project is ahead of its time, or simply too ambitious for its current reality. Still, Forest City represents a powerful idea. A vision of cities expanding beyond traditional land, reaching into the sea and redefining how and where humans can live. Because in a world where space is limited, the next cities might not rise higher into the sky. They might rise from the water itself. 2. What if I told you there's a place on Earth designed to survive the end of the world, hidden deep inside a frozen mountain? Welcome to Svalbard Global Seed Vault, a construction project unlike any other, built not for luxury or expansion, but for survival. Located on a remote Arctic island, far beyond the reach of most of humanity, this vault is carved deep inside a mountain, surrounded by permafrost and protected by some of the harshest conditions on Earth. It was designed with one purpose in mind: to preserve the future of life on this planet. Inside, the vault stores millions of seeds from crops all around the world: rice, wheat, corn, and countless other plant species that humanity depends on. These seeds are backups, carefully sealed and stored at extremely low temperatures, ensuring they can survive for decades, even centuries. But why build something like this? Because disasters happen. War, climate change, natural catastrophes. Any of these could wipe out entire food systems. And if that happens, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault becomes humanity's insurance policy, a way to restart agriculture and rebuild civilization. The engineering behind it is just as impressive as its purpose. The vault was built deep inside solid rock, far above sea level, ensuring it remains safe even if global ice melts. The surrounding permafrost acts as a natural freezer, meaning that even if the power fails, the seeds would remain preserved in the cold Arctic environment. And yet, despite its remote location, the vault is constantly monitored and maintained, quietly protecting something far more valuable than gold or technology: the foundation of life itself. But beyond the science and engineering, this project raises a powerful idea. While most construction projects are built to serve the present, this one was built for a future we hope never comes. A future where everything has been lost, and humanity must begin again. Because sometimes, The craziest construction projects aren't the biggest or the tallest. They're the ones built to protect everything we cannot afford to lose. 1. What if I told you there's a project so ambitious? It aims to build an entire futuristic civilization from scratch in the middle of the desert. Welcome to NEOM, the most insane and visionary construction project ever attempted. Announced as a $500 billion megacity in Saudi Arabia, NEOM is not just a single development. It's a collection of futuristic ideas brought together into one massive experiment. It includes projects like the line, along with floating industrial zones, AI-powered infrastructure, and fully automated systems designed to reshape how humans live, work, and interact. But NEOM isn't trying to improve cities. It's trying to reinvent them completely. Imagine a place where everything is powered by 100% renewable energy, where artificial intelligence manages transportation, security, and daily life, where advanced technologies are not just added on, but built into the foundation of the city itself. From flying taxis to robotic services, from smart homes to data-driven environments, NEOM is designed to feel like something out of the future, not the present. But building something this massive comes with enormous challenges. The project is located in a harsh desert environment, where extreme heat, limited water resources, and vast empty land create serious obstacles. Constructing infrastructure from nothing, roads, energy systems, water supply, housing, requires an unprecedented level of planning, coordination, and investment. And beyond the engineering, NEOM has sparked global attention and debate. Can such a futuristic vision truly be built at this scale? Will people adapt to a city so deeply integrated with technology? Or is this an idea that's simply too ambitious, even for modern engineering? Still, whether it succeeds fully or not, NEOM represents something far greater than a construction project. It's a statement, a bold declaration that the future doesn't have to follow the past, that cities don't have to grow slowly. They can be imagined, designed, and built from zero. Because sometimes the craziest idea in the world is the one that dares to build the future before it arrives.